Wah, wah, wah. It's the first Sunday without football
Oh,
since September. But hey, sports fans, don't worry. Prime napping season has come due because today NASCAR starts in Daytona with the Daytona 500. Listen, since the start of the NFL season, the Tampa Bay Lightning have won the Stanley Cup. The Rays have gone to the World Series. And now your Tampa Bay Buccaneers are Super Bowl champions. We are going to talk about some baseball moves. What in the heck is going on with the Texans? Dumpster fire. Baseball is on deck, and hey, it's Valentine's Day. We're going to have a little fun. Stay tuned because this is the main event.
Rico Suave. Look at this guy.
This guy. This dude thinks.
Wow.
Yes, he thinks he's Don Juan.
It is Valentine's Day, guys.
More like Juan and Dawn.
Hey, I've been warning all the guys that work for me for the last 2 weeks that Valentine's Day was coming, and they needed to be prepared. And every day I talked to them, they were more surprised that it was, a day closer. So,
Listen, that's phenomenal leadership, Chief. I'm glad that you're looking for ways to add value to the men and women around you.
look, I have been at the card wall, on the night before or the morning of, the wall of shame, with all the other guys standing there, and then you get the leftover cards at that point, with all the words in it. So you get
all the words.
There's so many words.
And it costs $12.
Right. And then you buy that card, and then you got to get the look from the cashier. She's like, yeah, it's
here. I got a man event pro tip for you then.
Go ahead.
You buy them like 5 or 6 at a time. So now they're just in a filing cabinet in your office, and boom.
You just have to remember where they are. That's the key.
Yeah, that is the problem.
And that you bought them.
I lost one this year.
Man, let me tell you real quick about a smooth move Costco pulled on me talking about Valentine's Day stuff. So I'm in line on Friday afternoon picking up some stuff for dinner, actually. And as I'm standing in line, the line's pretty long, and a lady comes over and shifts me over to what appears to be a shorter line. And what it actually was I'm now standing in front of the flower case to purchase new flowers. So what did I do? Oh, yeah.
There we are.
Honey's going to like you.
Got one.
Right. But I'm like, wait. And when I got home, she's like, this is an impulse buy. I'm like, you know what? I think it might have been a psychological warfare purchase.
They got you, Pooh Bear. They got you, Pooh Bear. Oh. Yeah. So, Chief, you've got some Valentine's news for us, right?
So I have some some discussion topics, little facts and figures, a little history about Valentine's. But listen, I want you guys to think about something, okay? Because I want you guys to share your Valentine's plans for today with us. But after, I'm going to give you a second to think about it, okay? But right now, I just need to know from you, right off the cuff, is this a real holiday or is this a Hallmark holiday? Pooh Bear, go.
Not a real holiday.
Not a real holiday. Be love.
Yeah, I'm going to go with it's definitely more of a Hallmark holiday.
Okay, TSG?
I'm going with the real holiday.
Good to go. So, all right, here we go, guys. I wrote this. Took my notes,
it just got official. It just got official.
Hey, so first Valentine's Day was celebrated in 496. So it's been around a long time. Romans, it was kind of a spring festival for them. And then, sometime, about the 3rd century, some Catholic priest named St. Valentine got involved because the Roman army wouldn't allow their soldiers to get married. And, he's like, well, it seems like a problem, So he intervened and got involved. And now, St. Valentine's Day was born, after that. It is celebrated around the world. As a matter of fact, only a handful of countries don't celebrate Valentine's Day. Not everybody celebrates it today. A couple people.
That was going to be my question. So is it everybody? Yeah. But it's not. Okay.
It's not everybody today, but they all I know in Australia they're celebrating it today, and in Europe most of it is today. There's a few other places I'm gonna say Czechoslovakia. I really don't know the answer to that. They're like in March or something. Hey, in Pakistan they don't celebrate it. Saudi Arabia they don't celebrate. A lot of Muslim countries are opposed to it. I don't know why. In India, a lot of protests.
Those are the ones that don't really like sex, I think.
There's a lot of people in India. They're getting it done somehow.
Yep.
So, so I found this out. So around the world, everybody pretty much celebrates it the same. There's a lot of chocolate involved. There's a lot of wine and food. People going to dinner or having dinner party. A dinner party with a lot of people is very popular. Apparently.
Wow. Okay.
Flowers Pooh Bear. That's another one that's very popular. What was surprisingly absent from the worldwide list to me were cards. Apparently, we're the only suckers out there that buy cards on Valentine's Day.
Hallmark has us, man.
They did get us. They did get us on that one. So
remember the day that cards were like $1.50 and now they're like $6. Yeah. What?
If you can find one.
Now they sing and they do all kinds of things. It's, it's no longer just a card. They're interactive now. You can record your own voice in them. I mean, it's crazy.
I got one today. It popped out at me. I said, "Oh, look at that."
For one,
go ahead.
No, I was going to say I'm very thankful. My wife is not into all that. She could care less about most of this stuff. So, thank you, honey, for making it a more pleasant holiday with your attitude towards Valentine's Day.
Well, I think to that extent, Pooh Bear, I think there's a number of couples out there that don't they're on purpose. They don't celebrate it. Like, hey, let's save the couple of bucks of getting cards or gifts or going out to dinner or whatever. And let's, do something. I think that's like a growing trend.
Yeah.
You think that actually happens? Is that, it hasn't reached it over here. I can tell you that. So
and I celebrate
who do you think gets the most Valentine's cards of anyone?
What do you mean?
You just said the Americans are the only ones.
Besides the American, there's a people group in America. What
children?
What type of person is going to get
kids? Kids
to purchase or receive?
Receive. Who's going to receive the most amount of Valentine's cards?
Middle-aged white females.
You know what? You're close. You just haven't narrowed it down at that much.
So
teachers receive more Valentine's. So. I imagine elementary school kids, get a tons of them. By the time you get to high school,
because you get the little rip apart,
Yeah.
Will you be mine, Iron Man? Yeah, a little lollipop or something.
Yeah. I used to just, when I was in elementary school, I'd just, I'd do like spitballs up against the wall and I put a bunch out there. That way I could at least get something back. Somebody might bite.
Well, now it's mandatory. Like every kid has to bring their own.
TSG with the spray and pray method.
And they have to bring a box.
Spray and pray.
Hey, I don't know that they did a whole lot of that this year with COVID. I don't think my youngest, who's in the 5th grade, she didn't do that this year.
Sad the way what this world's come to. Valentine's Day.
My elementary school son did.
Go ahead.
Let's hear it, man. What did you Romeos and Cupids do for Valentine? What's your plan? What is your plan for going forward, or what did you do already?
Well, I'm cooking tonight on the grill. I'm cooking fillets and lobster tail.
To me, that sounds like a Sunday night.
It does. So that again, it's one of those things where, normal, not normal.
That sounds like a Sunday night.
B-Love, come on.
So this morning, we had a romantic breakfast at Toaster Strudels. With the kids, they were delicious.
Yeah.
And we exchanged some gifts, and we'll find some dinner later this evening. Yeah.
TSG, I know you do things a little different.
Yep. Tina and I never celebrate Valentine's Day on Valentine's Day, except for we just stay home, watch a movie, maybe something like that. But to actually celebrate it, go out to dinner or whatever we might do, we do it typically on a weekday, which is exactly what we are going to do this holiday. I know that we talked to you guys and said we were going to do Saturday, but we decided to stay home. We cooked up some enchiladas, watched a movie, but we're going to go out Tuesday night just for the way things are working at the house with all the construction. Tuesday night, we go out to dinner when nobody's out. That's how
Spoken like a man without kids. He's going to go
Yeah,
out on Tuesday
exactly.
night to celebrate.
Oh, Tuesday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Late, we'll come back, watch a movie. Yeah, whatever. What do you got, Chief?
So last night, I took Lisa to see Hamilton. And Hamilton was pretty good, man.
I thought they canceled the showings.
Not on Disney Plus. They didn't.
Oh,
So
okay. I was gonna say, because my kids have tickets and they had to postpone it.
So we went to the couch to see Hamilton. And, hey, and tonight we're going to one of my favorite places to eat. We too are having steak and lobster and crab cakes. We're going to go to the kitchen, a little place I call the kitchen.
You may have seen it in a few videos. It's out there.
I like it.
I love it.
Who's cooking?
Wow, you got.
No, I'm cooking. I'm definitely cooking.
All right. There we go. Okay.
You knew the answer to that question before
Yep.
you asked it, TSP.
I do have another question. All right. It's a two-part maybe. Flowers or no flowers?
No flowers.
No.
Only if you get pulled over in the Costco line.
So none of you three do flowers.
Dude, okay, look, the same bunch of
I have
flowers.
in the past.
Yeah.
But not this year. No.
Did the same bunch of flowers I could have bought last week for $15 or $50 today.
Right.
I'm just not. It's the whole principle of price gouging just bothers me, so I didn't do it. I'm not doing it.
My wife likes to have flowers in the house when it's unexpected. So on Valentine's Day, birthdays, anniversaries, that doesn't do it so much. But kind of like what you were saying about your Tuesday night rendezvous for dinner, just popping home on like if I see some at the store on the way home, kind of like what I did with the Costco, go ahead and pick some up, and she loves to have those out, fresh flowers. What about you, TSG?
So
does Mrs. TSG like the flowers?
She does like flowers. She likes flowers a lot. So now the second part of this question is send flowers to work if they're working, or have them on the table at home.
I've actually taken flowers to her work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's been, again, on a whim, not a special day, just hey, I was just thinking about you. Bam, here's and this is very important too, guys. Know your wife's favorite flower. Okay. If you're showing up without the right flowers, things don't work out the way you planned.
And here you thought the main event was just about sports,
Yeah,
and some funny, right?
Solid advice right there.
Pro tips are coming out from all angles.
yeah.
This is nearly 100 years of marriage advice happening right here.
You're right, man.
You know it? Okay.
Here's
So
a
take
tip.
that for what it's worth.
Here's a tip that someone gave me. I don't remember who it was, but someone gave me, and I remembered it for my grandpa, I think it was. And he said, send the flowers to work. And the reason being is every woman likes to get flowers in front of her peers.
Yeah.
Yes,
And especially if your wife's at work on Valentine's Day, all the other girls are getting flowers, and she's just kind of,
Yeah.
So remember that, people.
Remember it.
Remember it. Like and subscribe. We just gave you all kinds of information.
That's enough of the lovey-dovey stuff. What else have we got?
I was going to say that was a solid plug. That was a solid plug, TSG.
Thank you.
You're not going to get this without a like or a subscribe. Yeah.
Nope.
So, man, this week we celebrated Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Good week in Tampa Bay.
We celebrated Tampa Bay. We're still recovering from the Super Bowl party. My understanding is Chiefs' house might not ever be the same.
We definitely broke some stuff.
There is broken furniture.
Yeah.
And,
Furniture, glasses, shelving. I mean, there's all kinds of broken stuff.
And listen, I will say this. So if you haven't had an opportunity to see our vlog that we made from our experience leading up to the Super Bowl and during the Super Bowl, take a couple of minutes or 25 and watch that. And I said the guys were over at the house yesterday. We were doing some work, And I said, listen, if the show never goes anywhere, I'll always have saved in video the greatest sports season in Tampa Bay history.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Let's go for more. I'm not done. This is fun.
Hey,
listen, the Chief and I were just talking the other day before we get into this, like yesterday. We need to schedule the camping trip.
Yeah.
It's going to get hot here in a few weeks, so we need to do it in like the next 2 or 3. Honestly,
And speaking of parades and celebrations, in Tampa Bay, apparently it's a new trend. We do them on a boat.
no,
Dad! Parade. It's a boat
Dad,
parade.
no, Dad. That's right.
Yeah. So we saw
I think that should be a new tradition. Whenever the city celebrates any kind of achievement, championships, or overcoming COVID, whatever, let's do boat parades. That was fantastic. We saw it with the Lightning Stanley Cup parade. That was fantastic to get guys out there on jet skis. They're all having a good time. We saw it with the Buccaneers this past Wednesday. That looked like a great time. So I think we should do it, one for the Rays here.
Dude, what would have happened if the throw didn't make it? Was that the actual trophy or the one that they let them break?
It is the actual trophy. Do you want to hear the 2 realistic scenarios, like if it had fallen in the water?
Yeah.
All right. So the on the real, the City of Tampa Police Department dive team was ready to go in and find it.
Yeah, they were right there.
And 2, if it couldn't be found or if it was dropped in deep water, whatever, you can fabricate another one. It's not like it's the only one in existence. They make a new one every year. So, I mean, Gronk dented one, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago.
Sounds like a Gronk move. Did he spike it?
I don't recall how he did it. I honestly don't recall how he did it. I just remember the fact that it was dented.
That channel's actually not that deep there. It's only like 25 deep, 25 feet deep. And I think they probably were in the channel, at that point. But like you said, the sheriff's dive team was there. They pretty much knew exactly where to find. They would have found that. So it wasn't really that big of a deal. But boat parades are definitely the way to go. Think about it. We're pretty good at it. We have Gasparilla in the spring-ish, a little early. So we're really good at that. Every year there are boat parades for Christmas boat parades all over the place. So we're always tuned up and ready for a boat parade. It's just a matter of announcing it, and off we go. And it's unique. Almost no one else in the country can do a boat parade year round, and that's us. That could be our signature move. They turn the water green in Chicago and stuff like that. But they can't do that in February. We can.
Nope.
Year round. We can do that stuff. So I say,
agreed.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
From henceforth.
Yeah.
Right here, we'll start it. We're starting the movement.
You can never be as cool as Tampa Bay.
So what about the throw, though? You had Tom Brady on his $2.6 million yacht throwing the 7-pound trophy backwards to the receiver's boat. Now, see, I don't know what you guys are doing Wednesday, but since we couldn't go, we all had to work. I was watching the Instagram feeds from all the different Buccaneers players. So Chris Godwin had a nice little one going until Scotty Miller dropped his phone into the water. Scotty Miller had one going. Mike Evans had one going. Who else? Vita Vea had a nice one going. So I was just kind of bouncing back and forth. Actually, Sean Murphy Bunting. Credit to Sean Murphy Bunting. His was phenomenal. He going from player to player, talking to different people. It was great viewing. But so they were in different boats. So the boat that Cameron Brate was on was essentially the hands boat, the receivers boat. It had Chris Godwin, Scott Miller, Mike Evans, Rob Gronkowski, Tanner Hudson. Everybody know who he is?
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, we know who he is.
Backup tight end.
He dropped a touchdown in the Super Bowl.
No, that was Joe Haig. That was the offensive lineman.
Yeah, the other.
But he actually caught the pyramid portion of the trophy. Cameron Brate went for the ball portion of the trophy, which I thought was just.
That's what Cameron Brate does.
Exactly. Instinctual.
Brate is great.
Just bam. Yes. And then Tanner Hudson was right there. He caught the stem of it. And it was like, oh, but then, Brate stood up with it. So a memorable moment. It was fantastic. I loved it.
I didn't have a problem with the toss, but everybody was like, he threw it and blah, 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 all worried about it. I didn't have a problem with it until I saw that Tom couldn't walk, and I still don't have a problem with it. I'm just saying now, it was much less of a sure thing than what I thought it was when it actually happened.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that old Florida sun, I don't know that Tommy's used to it quite. You know, I don't know that he's quite ready for that.
He didn't have his sea legs yet. You know, big boat.
Yeah,
Didn't
he's not ready for that level
Yeah.
of boat ownership yet. You know, he hasn't.
Wow.
He just
what a
traded in
gorgeous
his
stuff,
skis and
too.
his snowmobile. You know.
What a gorgeous boat that thing is, too. My goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, a couple Super Bowl rings will. You know, you can afford many.
I'm sure he could, but you only need one. You're going to be on one at a time.
Many a boat. So, yeah, it's been an interesting week celebrating the Super Bowl. Congratulations again to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
You know, also has a yacht.
Say that again.
You know, who also has a yacht.
Who?
A certain quarterback for the Texans, who wants to come to Miami, maybe to ride that thing around. I don't know. Need a spot for that yacht. Yeah, he's got.
Wow.
One.
So you're thinking that's Deshaun Watson wants to be in Miami? Is that what you're getting at here?
I think he does. Yeah. Well,
what the heck, by the way, is going on in that dumpster fire of a football team?
You got me.
There were rumors of the trade, and they were going to give up Tua for Watson.
That'll end Tua's career.
That was the rumor.
Probably.
That would end Tua's career.
It is dumpster fire is not even the word for what it is right now in Houston. I have no idea. Now they're claiming that they are not listening to offers for Deshaun Watson, but you know, whatever.
They're on by the way, Deshaun Watson just signed a $156 million contract. So if they were to trade Deshaun Watson or something like that, that's negotiable. Someone's going to wind up, you know, sticking it to the Houstons and telling them, listen, you know, I'm going to take $100 million of that, but you're on the hook for the other 56.
Right.
56 million, last time I checked, is an awful lot of money. So if you're going to be, I think they're stuck with him. I don't think he can go anywhere.
I don't know. I mean, he could always hold out.
Well, that's what he's going to end up doing.
Well,
come training camp, if they don't trade him, that's exactly what he's going to do.
Right?
he does that. He doesn't get paid. That's a lot of money.
Oh, I'm certain a portion of his contract is guaranteed money, though.
Not if he doesn't show. Not if he doesn't report. It's not.
That comes up front, I think. But
I just got to wonder what's going on in your front office when your quarterback, who you just invested a ton of money into, wants out, and now like JJ Watt is like Houston's greatest son.
He has been Houston's greatest son. He's 31 years old. He hasn't been as productive as he has, you know, like say 4 years ago. And he's been injury prone. I don't think he's finished the season in the last 5 years.
Yeah, maybe not.
So,
no, he's definitely not the player he used to be. But again, he is, you know, a legacy essentially. So he was under contract. I don't understand. I don't get the move. You know, or I don't. What I don't get is why he's so upset and needing to move. See, that tells me more about the franchise than anything else.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, he was basically saying, hey, I want my release, and they immediately gave it to him.
Right. And it wasn't, I want more money or cut me. It was, I don't want to play with you people anymore. I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. What is going on in that front office that all of these marquee players,
Right.
They fired their head coach, you know, early on. They were one of the first teams to let him go.
And their GM.
And the GM. So, I mean, you got to say there's O'Brien's a good coach. Okay, he's a winning football coach. He knows how to coach. And when they fire him, so it takes an entire organization to pull off a Super Bowl victory, you know, or to pull off a winning team. It's just not a coach and it's just not players. You got to have front office personnel. And I honestly feel that the problem, having been in a city where the front office wasn't on board with winning, they were just on board with making money. There's a difference between the two, you know. So if you're a guy who's there to win and your front office is not going to give you the tools that you need to do it, you know, that's going to create a lot of friction because, you know, you're just butting heads nonstop at that point.
Yeah, it makes me appreciate right now. We have great ownership. You know,
right now we do.
Franchises.
Yes.
We have great ownership. You were talking about the Hugh Culverhouse days, I assume, in there, Chief.
Absolutely. Hugh and Gail Culverhouse.
For two of the three franchises. Vinnick and the Glazers are doing great. Not so sure about Stu Sternberg.
He's putting a winner on the field.
He is, but he's talking about moving him to Montreal. He doesn't want to invest in a stadium.
I think it's smoke and mirrors. I think it's smoke and mirrors.
Maybe so, but either way, he has not been the type of owner who has been invested in his team. He's been the type of owner who's been invested in making money, just like Chief said.
Yeah.
So I could, for one, could do without Steve Sternberg and hope for another owner.
Oh,
but
wow.
He's not going to sell.
So you want Vince Namoli back?
No.
Ooh, no.
I mean, I think there's two types of owners out there. You just described them.
I want someone in the Jeffrey Vinnick mold.
Yes.
The owner of the Tampa Bay Lightning. That guy is doing amazing things with his franchise. Not only is he putting a winner on the ice, he's also making a community investment. He's invested in the stadium. He's invested in our community. That is the type of owner a sports franchise covets, and that's what the Rays need.
Yep, I agree.
Hey, you before we head down to the Rays platform, Chief, you and Pooh Bear, you kind of reacted to J.J. Watt as if you think his best football is behind him.
I think J.J. Watt's best football is behind him. I think the best fit for J.J. Watt is going to be with the Pittsburgh Steelers, where he already has two brothers playing.
Right.
That will be his motivation there. That's what he needs. He doesn't need a team. He needs a family at this point. And we could see the J.J. Watt of old that shows up next year if he's in Pittsburgh. If he goes anywhere else, we're going to get an average.
So you wouldn't sign him here to replace one of those guys we're going to lose in free agency?
Look, if we're going to sign him, we can afford to sign the guys that are going to stay. I mean, I know Shaq Barrett is expecting a payday, okay? But J.J. Watt's not coming for free either. So, I would rather keep our guy here. At this point, I'd rather keep Shaq Barrett here than to bring J.J. Watt in. So
it's a known commodity as opposed to – and I think J.J.'s the type of athlete who, in the right system, would thrive. Even though he is older, I think he could probably do well with, like you're just saying, in Pittsburgh where he's playing with his brothers. It's an established defensive unit. He might do just fine there.
I don't know about you talk about systems. I've been hearing you talk about systems, Pooh Bear, as long as I've known you and as long as we've talked sports. And that whole argument went out the window with me this year when the Patriots sucked.
Don't forget, we've talked about this before. The Patriots had more starting players sit out because of COVID than anybody else. And you can't look, we're a better team than the Chiefs. But the fact of the matter is that they had two offensive tackles that were out, during the Super Bowl. And it showed you can't replace 6 starters on a team. There's only 22.
And the system only works as long as you have some talent. You can't take our softball team and give us the Rays system and expect to beat the Dodgers. It's not going to happen.
No, I got that. Now we've got an idea. We did. If you watch our vlog, you were going to catch us doing some of the skills competition for baseball season. We've got to duplicate something like that.
We're going to buff out the old softball uniform and
listen. We can figure that out.
Oh, there's a batting cage right down the street, man. We can just go out there and hit some dingers.
I want everybody to see. I want everybody to see me parking them.
Well, me and TSG actually came up with a concept similar for football. So, yeah, maybe we just kind of transfer that over to baseball and see what we get. I like it.
Yeah,
that'd be fun. That'd be fun. So this week, the Rays signed a former player in Chris Archer, right?
Yeah.
So
they brought some more pitchers in too.
Yeah, Pooh Bear, you'll if anybody on this show is going to remember this, it's you. What did we get for Archer when we sent him to Pittsburgh?
We got 3 players in return. One's named Tyler Glasnow, probably your ace for the Rays. The other plays right field. His name's Austin Meadows. Pretty big hitter. Definitely a key member of this team. And the third player is still in the minor leagues and, of course, didn't play last season, but Shane Baz, who is also a starting pitcher, projected to be a starting pitcher in this rotation, probably within 2 years. So there is a very real chance you could have all 3 of those players in the same rotation, or at least in the same team, with Chris Archer, which is just mind-blowing.
I know. It just blows you away.
Whoever is running the Pirates must be running the Texans. That's what I'm thinking.
Hey, you just described the movie Draft Day with Kevin Costner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great movie, by the way.
It is a good movie, but we got everything back and we got our pick. We got it. Just took a little longer. Didn't do it in one day. So.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And the
So
success.
Archer is coming off of a season he didn't pitch.
Right.
He had an injury, and so I find solace in the fact that the Rays have done a really good job historically at finding that player who previously injured, maybe at the tail end of their career, whatever it is, and does an amazing job. We don't know what kind of clubhouse that Chris Archer walked into. When he left here, he was a young, energetic, fun to be with type player. And who knows, like if he missed that environment in Pittsburgh, we could see him play really, really well for us this season. I mean, this guy won a Cy Young, right?
Yeah, if he's got the focus. Here's the thing. There are pitchers out there that are so talented and they have such a strong arm that they can get away with maybe some things, not focusing quite as much as other pitchers, and they can whip it by you. They're just that talented. I've seen many times many of our pitchers who are talented, but they're not like Verlander or, somebody, like some of these guys that just do it every single year, right? So you'll see pitchers that come in, especially when they're young, right? Chris Archer, have a Cy Young year. He comes in, he's hungry, young guy trying to prove his point. He's got senior pitchers above him that he has to answer to, and he focuses every pitch. Same thing. Snell came in, brand new. Snell focusing, boom. Then he has the bum year. Archer thinks he's the man that next year when who left us?
David
Price, and that year that we lost two big pitchers, and he comes up. And remember when he said, "Oh, you guys don't show up late if you're 15 minutes early or late, whatever." I don't know if you guys remember that article.
I do remember that.
And he's like all this already, right?
Trying to be the tough guy that he wasn't.
Yeah. And then what happened? He probably thought, I don't have to focus as much. I got this, and he ends up. So some of these guys, they really have to, from the beginning of the season, they got to eat baseball. And go and throw to have a great season.
Yeah,
I don't actually think Chris Archer won the Cy Young. He came in third in voting. Blake Snell won the Cy Young.
You caught me off guard when you said that. I was like, no, I don't think he did. I know Snell has and David Price did, but I don't think Archer did.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the cool thing about Chris Archer is that he's familiar. The coaches are the same. Dan Snyder, the pitching coach, is still here. And pitching in the Trop's a little different from pitching somewhere else. Yeah. So he's obviously familiar with that. He came up in this organization.
Actually, Dan Snyder was not Chris Archer's pitching coach. That was Foley, Tom Foley was his pitching coach. So
not even his last year. I thought his last year he was with
potentially. But either way, I think there's going to be a change of philosophy, and that's one thing that Snyder's been tremendously good at. The reason the Pirates gave up on Glasnow is because he could not locate any of the other pitchers other than the fastball. Yeah. So they thought he had reached his potential. And I might argue that they might have been right based on this last season. He never really kind of went over that hump. It's almost like he gets to that, he's got those two great pitches, but then he can't get that third pitch and make it work for him. So there is an argument to be made about that, but that's here nor there. That's not what this conversation is for. But you're right. And that's why I'm going to predict right here, right now, that Michael Wacha and Rich Hill will probably have career years this year in Tampa with this pitching staff. Michael Wacha hadn't been heard from in a couple, 3 years. Same with Rich Hill. I didn't even know he was still playing baseball. But the guy, was a tremendous pitcher out west for the Dodgers for a long time. Also with, I think he was with the Red Sox. But anyway, again, this could be. Everyone thought Charlie Morton was done 3 years ago. And when he came to the Rays, I said, this guy's going to have Cy Young potential. Sure enough, he did.
Yeah.
I'm seeing
a couple of pitchers I've never heard of.
I thought Wacha was done with Pac-Man.
Waka.
With the Muppets. No, he was a really good pitcher with the Cardinals for 2 or 3 years in their rotation. He's projected to be a middle of the rotation guy for us. Yeah. So it's probably going to go a little something like, Glasnow, probably Hill, then Archer, maybe Wacha, third guy, and then Yarbrough is going to be in there. But anyway, I definitely look for those guys to have more success than people predict. that don't know baseball and don't know the Rays specifically for whatever reason. They've got some magic sauce in their Powerade or in their bullpen where I'm not gonna say that. Maybe there's something else in the Pez dispenser they're giving these guys that seem to just all of a sudden, bam.
Wow. You guys remember Big Dog on 620 WDAE?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So his philosophy was with the Rays is that they use the slider so much and they're really good at teaching it. But the slider is really rough on the arm, which is why a lot of our pitchers ended up getting Tommy John surgery that come out of the Rays. Almost all of our pitchers, end up with some kind of injury there on the elbow. And his philosophy was that we have so much success because we really know how to teach people how to throw that, and we throw it at any cost, whether injury or not. We're throwing that pitch
and when to throw it. And there's there's defensive positioning that's taking place with the Rays. They're compensating for their whichever pitcher is on the mound, whatever their weakness is. If they're a ground ball pitcher and they tend to give up hits to the right side of the infield, they're going to shift people over. I mean, it's just they're into the sabermetrics more than any other team in baseball, I think. But I for one, as a fan, seeing Blake Snell leave, seeing Charlie Morton leave, I'm not as concerned with those two players leaving as I am as some other people are. I feel that they're going to plug in these new pieces and be just fine.
Well, shoot, they signed a bunch of pitchers this week.
Yeah, there was actually 3 between Archer, Hill, and then a bullpen guy that wasn't too familiar with. I had to look up.
Yeah. So with pitchers and catchers reporting this week on the 18th, full squad coming in less than 10 days. I was shocked at a headline yesterday that the Mets invited Tim Tebow to Major League camp.
Why is that shocking to you?
That's total marketing. I mean, no one is going to give Tim Tebow, a big league shot. He's not even going to make it onto a minor league team. This is absolutely PR stuff, and Tim's just doing it because he likes to play baseball, I think.
Well, yeah,
he does.
Was he really that terrible 2 years ago?
I don't think he's very good at baseball, and they just spent a whole season, the minor league guys, not playing. He wasn't part of that travel squad or whatever they called that during COVID. I don't see. I mean, plus the guy's got to be getting up there in age at this point. How old is Tim Tebow?
I'm looking it up now.
I just thought that was pretty interesting, and I don't know. I mean, I know that plus the way that they restructured the minor league systems that they announced this week, there's a lot less players as well.
There's a lot less teams.
They
eliminated, I think it was over 100 teams in the
minor leagues. Yeah,
so that's. I mean, so you're taking up a roster
including our own Port Charlotte Stonecrabs.
Yeah, gone. So you're taking up a roster spot for somebody who has a legitimate chance. Like I can when you needed hundreds of players to fill a minor league roster, I get that maybe, but I don't know. Right now, I just don't. I don't see that. I mean, tell me he's 30 something, right?
I'm sorry, I went to the stats first. He hit 240, 272. Sorry, there's no 19, no 2020 stats, so it's really throwing me off here. Like you're trying to do quick math.
That's pretty decent hitting. Yeah, this guy's 33 years old, man.
33, yeah.
He's 33. Like,
so yeah, his 2019 wasn't so great. He only hit 240 with 4 home runs for triple.
I mean, 240 in AA doesn't get you an invite to Major League Spring
That's triple it. That's triple it. No, my bad. It's 183, just above the Mendoza line. My bad. So I don't know. You have to look at it from the Mets perspective too. I mean, if they're going to waste, like you're saying, waste a roster spot, they're looking to make sure that their team, their big league club, is the best it could be. So if you've got a struggling minor league player in your farm system that isn't going to help you, other than sell some seats to the Daytona or wherever you're playing, that doesn't, a few ticket sales isn't going to make up for it when you need a left fielder.
Yeah.
So I think they clearly see something. Otherwise, they wouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
That's my
I don't
take
know.
on it.
It'll be interesting. I'm excited to see baseball start kind of pivoting. Dude, how good are the Lightning better right now than they were at the end of last season? They're beating some really good teams. Handily last night.
Without Kucherov.
Yeah, without Kucherov.
And right now, Stamkos.
Yep.
Now they're only playing the same 8 teams over and over again. So there does become a bit of familiarity and, that kind of thing that who you're playing against. So I'm not going to put a full, regular season champions doesn't fly with me, right?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
especially in this year, right? You need to get to the playoffs, and then we'll see how. But you're right; they're plus minus right now. I think they're 25. Yeah, they're a plus 24 in goals scored.
Yeah,
they're outscoring their opponents by 24 goals.
Well, shoot, they scored 6 last night, I think.
Yes, and I think 6 the 2 nights before, and they did lose to Nashville.
That's a lot of goals in hockey.
It's a lot of goals, and some of those are end of the quarter or end of the period, end of the game.
Empty netters.
Empty netters.
Empty netters.
So even if you took away a goal per game, that's still or a goal per victory, that's still a plus 14. That's still better than any team out there.
Wow.
Yeah, and you're right. They lost to Nashville, and that's where Stamkos got hurt. Was in the Nashville game. They said that he has a lower body injury, but he's supposed to be back pretty soon. Except for he had a positive COVID test. Mm-hmm. He predicts that he thinks it's a false positive, and so we'll see whether that's the case or not. But it does look to be. He said if it wasn't for the COVID, he would have been back on the ice already. So
okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Well, he gets a couple of days to rest it. It's just, I think it's interesting to me, and I know TSG, you might be able to break this down a little bit for us, but we were all concerned, with losing Kucherov. And Stamkos is, although he's still a formidable player, he's also getting up there in age. For this team to be the offensive firepower that it is, what's happening?
So here's what it is. All right, one, they're fast. They have so much speed on this team, but they added size last year, and they added fast, sizable forwards. We were always small on the forward, so they were able to squeeze us before we would cross the center line, and they would slow everything down. Now, especially when you start playing other teams that have bigger guys, right? And they play that defense, especially when you get to the playoffs, and it's all about defense. They completely change. It is not loose whatsoever. And that's where the Lightning always got themselves in trouble, was that they hit these big teams. That's what happened to us against the not Columbus Blue Jackets, but Tortorella's team. Help me out.
That was Columbus.
Yeah, that was Columbus. Okay, yeah. So
Columbus,
that year, 2 years ago, when they knocked us out, we had the record season that we had. And they played defense. Tortorella said, listen, if you guys just play this structured playoff defense that I tell you very specifically, you will beat them. And they did. We came back. We added some new players, some tough guys. We got a couple of enforcers that are willing to fight. Now these teams, it's a little different. And that's the difference. And these guys can move, and they're big. And you got a goalie like Vasilevsky who I've seen him save this team from being in big trouble so many times. And that's huge.
Yep. So it's good. It's a fun little season so far. The Lightning are what? They're 10-2 with one
10-2-1
with one tie. So they haven't lost a game at home yet. All the games of the 2 games they've lost
back
on the
to
road.
back.
Right.
No back-to-back losses.
So just dominating. But again, it's regular season. Let's get to the playoffs. Let's see what Toronto is supposed to have be reloaded. Boston always gives the Bolts trouble. So I'm not sure how. I know right now the divisions are structured a specific way for as far as travel and keeping it. None of the Canadian teams are even playing anybody from America. They're only or from the United States. They're only playing Canadian teams. Those 6 teams are in their own league. So how this gets restructured come Stanley Cup Finals time. Let's see what happens. But but the overall 1,000-foot view is you're right. This team is probably playing as well or better than they were 4 or 5 months ago when they won the Cup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
without one of the best players in the world.
Yeah, I mean it's an interesting dynamic with the way that they're structuring the season, but I also don't think it's a good solution to go bubble again. Because I think you could do that and get more team and have them play more teams, but I don't know.
Come playoffs, they may go back to the bubble depending on how. I mean, Fauci's talking about having everyone vaccinated by April. I don't know, whatever.
That's not going to happen. Not by April. There's too many people. I mean, did you see the lines the other day? I mean, it took people like 6 hours. They were sitting in line. It's going to happen, but it's moving. We're just now getting the first group of people through that are getting their second shot. Yeah, so now we're moving on to the next rounds. It won't be April, but probably by the summer, we should have a good number.
So, but the reason I brought that up was if that's the case, then they may not need to do the bubble. If there's a large portion of the society or the population that's been vaccinated, maybe they don't worry about the bubble. Maybe they do the playoffs in the home stadiums like they're supposed to, or maybe they just go ahead and do the bubble just for simplicity's sake and do that. So I kind of enjoyed it because you got to sit down and watch. It's kind of like March Madness a little bit. You get to sit down and watch 3 hockey games in the span of an evening. Hopefully one of them was your team, but so we'll see.
The interesting thing is I joked around a couple of weeks ago that maybe the Toronto Raptors should stick around. They're playing their NBA season here in Tampa.
Yeah.
Well, this week I think they announced that they're going to conclude the season. They're going to play all season.
The rest,
here in Tampa. I don't know if there are any. Go ahead.
Tonight they open it back up to fans. They're going to have a limited
tonight's
number
the
of
first
fans.
night. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Hey, Chief.
Let's go.
Chief, what do you think about we check out an NBA game?
Oh man. Okay. You know what? I'll give it a shot. I would give my first ever NBA game a shot, man. I would give it a go.
Well, I was looking. I obviously nobody here follows the NBA. It looks like so. I decided let me look real quick. I'm not sure how they're playing.
They are 12 and 14.
Okay, so the Tampa Bay charm isn't working for them.
Nope.
No.
Well, they went out on that boat parade that we had, and they're like, "We're going to stay right here."
It's all their shot. It's all their chance.
Yeah.
Hey, is anyone getting tired right now? Is anyone
tired?
Yeah.
Because you're hearing NBA, or because you've got another reason you want to go now?
No, I got another reason. Let's get off this NBA. We're done with the NBA, man. Let's finish that. Let's wrap that up.
Oh, I thought you were making a segue into NASCAR.
I was too.
Into NASCAR.
Oh, okay.
That is it. That is what I'm making because hey, look, I'm going to spring this on you guys, okay? Because in 4 minutes, the Daytona 500, they start their engines if the track is dry. I'm not sure what's going on over there right now. I look over here like I'm looking out the window at Daytona, but there's.
It's
right there.
Out that
it's right there.
It's right over there.
So to give some clarity, and we didn't do this at the beginning of the show. This is a recorded show.
Yeah,
this is not
we have
live.
plans for tonight. It's
Valentine. Right. Big Valentine's Day, as you heard the opening.
Yeah,
I was gonna say you got one guy who's going to a place called the Patio for his, and you got another guy who's going to this really cool new hip restaurant in the Tampa Bay area. It's called La Kitchen.
La
Kitchen. So
I've been there. That's
so okay, hold on now, because nothing is better than napping to NASCAR. I mean, that little hum of the cars going by. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, okay. The most exciting part of it is when that guy yells boogity, boogity, boogity at the beginning. So, okay, here we go, guys. Listen.
Right after he says it.
Yeah, exactly. There's no reason for us to try to predict a winner because I know one guy because he worked his dad was in the fire department with me. So I know, and I actually met this kid and it's funny. So Eric Almirola.
I was gonna say he's from Polk County.
I'm not sure he's from Polk County, but I know his dad worked at Station 9 right up the street.
I kept thinking Amendola when you were saying that, and then you said Armadillo, and I was like, oh, I know that. Yeah, like I said.
If we're making predictions, I got Junior.
No. Oh my gosh.
Retired.
We're going to predict the car that's going to win. Is it going to be a Ford, a Chevy, or a Toyota? That's about as close as we can get to this. So, TSG, go, man. No one's prepared for it. I just sprung it out there. Who do you got?
Chevy.
Chevy?
Yep.
TSG with Chevy. Pooh Bear?
I'm gonna go Ford since that's what I drive.
I knew it.
I'm going with the blue oval, baby. Let's go.
All right. Hey, the one that's in the out looking in is B-Love because Mercedes doesn't have a car in this. So go ahead. You can go with the other import if you want and go Toyota, but I mean,
listen. So this is a decision I've put a lot of thought into, and I want to explain why I'm picking. So I'm going to go with Ford.
Okay.
For two reasons. One, because Matty Ho has a Ford.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So he's part of the man event culture.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to rub little Matty Ho off on the Ford. And then, my dad just got one.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Chef Javi drives one. Chef Javi drives one. I drive one.
No Mercedes today, though. It would
Mercedes.
win, by the way. It would probably win.
And I don't know if you watched the news or not, but your car's been recalled for an issue. It was the news. Yes, on the news this morning. Pretty much every model Mercedes makes from 16 to 21 been recalled. To have a part fixed. All you got to do is take it down there. They'll fix something. I'm sure they'll notify you.
They always find something else, though, when you do that.
After the show, B. Not right.
So who you've got, Chief, out of the three?
Hey, I own two of the three that are in the race today.
Yeah, you do.
I'm going Toyota.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you were going to go Buick.
Hey, so which one of your cars is the fastest? What brand? Chevy, Toyota, what?
Mine is the fastest.
What?
No.
What's
My
that?
car's the Corvette.
Oh, it's Chevy.
My car. Wait, no, that's
my name's on the title. I just don't drive it. My name's on the title.
That is Mrs. the Chief's car.
Yeah, that's Mrs. Chief's car, but my name is also on the title.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, maybe for Valentine's Day she'll let you drive it to the kitchen.
Dude, I don't want to drive that. It's just that car is frustrating to drive because it wants to run and the cops and everybody else doesn't. So
and you don't.
Oh, I want to let it loose, but dude, either you get arrested or getting arrested. It's not worth it.
Chief, I got your out. You ready?
Hey, hold on, man. Hold on. Look, right here.
Yep.
Look, I don't know if y'all know what this is or if I can show it to you. Y'all know what this is?
Oh, that's a ticket from a red light.
That's a ticket from a red light camera.
Yeah,
and that looks like your son's car.
It is my son's car, the Buick. Yeah. See, these guys are out. Hey, guess who's paying it? Not me. He's paying it.
Hey, was that on his Taco Bell run or what?
No, oh man, no. He went to see his sister at USF and the same light that she ran, 6 months ago, and got the same freaking ticket for it.
Wait. Is it the one at 50th Street and
Fowler?
And Fletcher? Fowler 50th?
Yes.
My wife has one from there. That is. It's like a collection. Yep.
The video is fantastic. I mean, the cameras are so good, man. I mean, it's just like there you are.
Money maker.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but I got your out, Chief. I got your out. It happened to my boss, multimillionaire. Before I was ever a firefighter, he got pulled over. BMW, 500 in the world, running boogieing over Clearwater Pass Bridge there.
Gotcha.
Causeway. Here we go. Pulls him over. A guy walked up and you were going blah 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 whatever. And he goes, hands in the keys. He goes, you try and drive it slower than that.
Wow.
Wow.
You try to drive it slower than that.
He goes, good luck. And that guy laughed so hard he let him off. He let him off. Yes.
Wow.
There you go. I don't know if it'll work, but
I'm gonna write it down.
Yep.
I'm gonna write it down.
Got it.
Slower than that.
Well, gentlemen, I don't know that we've got anything else for today. We have exhausted all options.
Nothing else happened. Nobody else got impeached twice one week and defended it and none of that.
Oh, listen, back-to-back impeachment champions.
Back to back.
Why hasn't he tweeted that yet?
Because he's been banned from Twitter.
No,
that's still ongoing.
Yes.
The one
he
that
still
I like,
doesn't have Twitter.
No, he doesn't have Twitter. Dude, the one that I like though was they put the head on Donald Trump and they put Pelosi's head on a Chiefs guy, and Donald's looking at him, giving him the victory, giving him the peace. I said, "Wow, that's just
like Winfield,
exactly like Winfield."
Nice.
Yes, to Tyreek Hill, to Winfield to Tyreek Hill. He just went like that right to him.
Yeah.
Oh man. So
Happy Valentine's Day, honey. Love you.
Happy Valentine's Day, honey. Yeah. Well, whatever. So that's it. That's all we got. Still doesn't have Twitter. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. We've had a good time as we always do here because this is the best group of people ever. Anyway, if you like this kind of content, go ahead and like and subscribe. You don't want to miss out. And if you like this, if you didn't like this video, go ahead and hit the like button twice. That way, you really, really show us you didn't like it.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Good night, everyone. Happy Valentine's Day. You're the best.